I'm Celestina, so thanks for joining in. This is Veronica, and I used to live in LA. I went to mastery and transformational trainings, and then really have used my work here in New Mexico to run a transformational center, Community Leadership Foundation. Through that, Vero attended some of our trainings, and then after we've created a relationship where I've helped her to develop more of her work as a trainer and a healer out in the world. What she's going to share today is some fascinating work. I think a lot of what draws me to it is it's around Mesoamerican deities and cultura that usually is not ever mainstream. It's usually a Western kind of idea of how do you heal and what a healing process, or maybe more Native American process in terms of what's shared. And so I really appreciate that Vero, who grew up and was born in Mexico, has that connection in the work that she does and is sharing it now with others. So our goal is to share with the ladies that I know in California, because I know Vero's goal is to go and share more of this with Latinas and be in the Southern California area. So looking at how can we form some of those partnerships, how can we support women in our networks that we're working with, and expand this knowledge so it can be something that elevates our communities. So Vero, if you want to get going with this.
Sure. Yeah, thank you. I'm Veronica Iglesias. I'm from Mexico City, and part of what you are going to see is my own experience of healing, my own experience with abuse, sexual trauma, and this is the result that I want to share with you. So we're going to go directly with the presentation, and let's see we can.
How do I get to? I need to go back to that screen share. Let's see. Oh, there, I think. Oh, there we go. There we go. Okay. Oh, no. Let me get back on there. There it is. Okay. Perfect. And you want to do this one?
That's yes. Okay.
Oh, and then we take this off. I have to just get back to here. Oh, there we go. Okay. And we get this off.
If you try to go here, you see anything? Oh,
yeah, pero
it's not allowing you to close it, right?
There. Okay.
Okay, yeah, basically this, let's try to go this.
¿Está bien, Laura?
Sí.
Okay.
Esto es lo que...
Okay, great.
So this is a presentation about what is this work about. So this is about the creation of medicinal wheel for women who experience sexual trauma. And let's see. So according to the United States document on mujeres, 1 in 3 women experience some form of physical sexual violence. So that's a third of the population, right? And in the United States, the 23.4% of Hispanic Latino population of women experience violence of gender in their lifetime. So that we are going more specific what is happening with Hispanic or Latino population here in the States. And now with people or families that are migrating, this is the information, 48% of Latinas reported that their partner's violence against them increase as they migrate to the U.S. And that's, I think that's super important because things change when people, families migrate from the place of origin. Is a lot of factors are involved. The family is far, the friends is far, the support system is far, everything is different. It's a lot of stress related with the big change. So that's what is happening in numbers, right? How our communities are affected for sexual violence.
One of the things in looking at this work that Veronica is bringing is being able to think about the women in our lives, our sisters, our tias, our kids, our community, you know, those women that we work with. Typically, when it comes to sexual abuse, it's not something that we talk about. It's not something that is widespread, that we want others to know. And oftentimes, if we do speak out about it, it becomes something that is now seen as our identity. Oh, she was raped. Oh, she was beat by her husband. Oh, she, you know, had somebody catcall her. You know, oh, she dresses provocatively. That's what brought it on. There's all these different societal ways in which when we do speak out about our trauma, it's not necessarily safe. Even the experience of speaking out about it and needing to be in a space where, you know, the hospitals or, you know, any kind of documentation is taken, that's also very invasive and not always filled with the most compassion or a full system that helps us to heal and gain wisdom from why the event, the experience happened in our lives. We're often put in a place of now this trauma has happened, and well, you can maybe get a little better, but it's not going to be something that you can fully heal from, learn from, and be empowered by. And so that's one thing that I love about Veronica's work, is that it goes beyond the typical amount of information or process that we are given as women to heal. This process really takes us all the way to a point of empowered wisdom that we create for ourselves within what the experience was.
Yeah, so when we are living in communities, or we are with most of the women, according with the statistics, are like Celestine was saying, this is a secret. Like we are thinking in the statistics talk about a third of the population, but how many women never say anything? So I found another statistics where they say that in 98% of women in different countries, where there is more machismo, they experience sexual any kind of violence related with gender. So how that is impacted our communities? Well, that any kind of abusive act encompass gender violence, rape, sexual abuse, and sexual harassment. So for women that we are active in social justice and these movements, this trauma can stand in the way of reaching their full potential as an agent to heal and empower themselves and their community. And there's always this little thing that is there, like, oh yeah, or you can even identify yourself as a survivor, but still you are carrying a label on you. And that's something that is stopping us to really know who you are. So, and that is when this proposal came. What is I'm bringing is, this is a proposal in this presentation using 10 Mesoamerican female deities. We have Oxomoco, Coyolxauhqui, Mayahuel, Chalchitlicue, Tlazolteotl, Xochiquetzal, Chantico, Ispapalot, Coatlicue, and Tosi as archetypes for the different stages of healing of sexual violence. These work represent an alternative approach for women who have Mexican indigenous ancestry as opposed to an European American-based mythology, often employed in an archetypal framework for healing trauma. And Celestine was mentioned that before, like how when if we are that privileged group of women who have any opportunity to heal and go to counselors and all that, we will experience the European approach that is totally different of what we grew up and the communities that we learn in the culture that we are sharing or learning. So that's how this is so different and so new. So what's this? So I'm going to start with this. This is like the medicinal wheel. It's a cycle. It's talking about cycles. And I'm going to start, we're going to go from here. This is the first one, Oxomoco, and I'm going to go with the tails. Oxomoco.
So as Vero was talking about each of the deities, she'll start in the top left corner with they don't see your cursor. And so we'll go following the arrows around to the right until we end up in the middle center wisdom. So we'll start with the top left, and she's going to go through and tell you a little bit about each one.
Okay, the first one, Oshomoko Pactona. So this is talking about the basically paradise where we were totally supported. So they are the primordial couple. It's the feminine and masculine balance, respecting each other, both of them receiving information that is very particular for the gender. So she was the one who was receiving the knowledge about medicine, about divination, healing, and he received the information about agriculture cycle, and both of them were the keepers of time. So with this card, is like we're talking about this primordial paradise. Is the paradise where everything was perfect. The feminine was honor for the masculine, and vice versa. So from this paradise, it's like Eden in a way. So from this paradise, we go to the next one, that is Koyolchauki. With living in this patriarchal world, we as women fell, and we are in this moment is when the sexual violence starts. So it's when the body is broken for the physical violence, or heart is broken, or mind is broken, so everything, the spirit is broken. And it's when we as women are asking ourselves, like, how that happened, like how somebody who, and like the statistics talk about, like the sexual violence so many times is related with or was committed for people in the family. So how someone that's supposed to be taking care of you do something like that, part of your own family, broke you. So it's like the very, very first stage where we are when we experience sexual abuse. So from that, the next stage is connect with Mayahuel. Mayahuel represents the nurturing states. If a woman survives sexual violence, the first thing is keep alive, like be sure that you continue stay alive. So you start with nurturing your body, taking care of yourself, like be sure that you are breathing, drinking enough water, having healthy food, sleeping, and with all the trauma and all that, but it's like the basic, like what the physical body requires to start the process of healing. So that's the first stage after a trauma. Then from that, and every person is different. You can stay with the archetypes as long as you want, but when you feel that you nurtured yourself enough, you can continue with the next one, that is Chalchitlukwe. She is related with water. So it's the moment to start connecting with the emotions. What happened? How do you feel? And bring all the emotions related with sexual violence. Is when you start really connecting with what happened, screaming, crying, questioning. And also she was the first deity that was called when the midwife received a baby. And it's because she's also the first protector of humans. So part of the teachings, her teachings are like, go with the flow, like allow yourself to start this process of deep and personal healing and connection with the situation, connecting with your heart, and acknowledging that everything that you are feeling and that's the state is okay. Like we're saying that this topic is very, very difficult to talk. So it's several times is keep it in secret. So all this blame, all this guilt is just allowing the emotions to come. So again, like from allowing your body to be alive and working with emotions and start healing. And also this moment is a very good time to start working with water, like physical water, taking baths, herbal baths, and all that, teas. So from that stage, we continue with Tlazolteotl. Tlazolteotl is related with love. And is when we start connecting with self-love again. And yeah, the emotions are still very strong. But it's when we opening the little window to bring love again to ourselves. Like basically all these processes for yourself, only you. So is in the retreat that we have is when we go inside the Temazcal, when we have the elements of the water, the nurturing element, and it's the moment when you start opening the door to heal your body, your heart, your womb, your feminine essence. So with her is also after bringing all the unconditional love to yourself, is opening the door to taking responsibility. Like there's no casualties, right? Casualties in this world. Like everything has a reason. It's like when you start opening the door, like what happened and why. And from that we continue with the next one. So Xochiquetzal, she is the one who is related with bringing love again and joy. Continue with the love that you start bringing with Tlazolteotl, and then we with Xochiquetzal is bringing again the beauty. So we go to this strong process of dealing with emotions, dealing with the pain, physical pain, emotional pain, letting go inside the Temazcal, healing your body and your soul with your plants, and taking responsibility in a way like how I contribute to create this in a way that is serving me. So that's Tlazolteotl. So passing that with Quetzal, we connect with the beauty of life again. Like you revert to be a maiden, is the archetype of the maiden, revert and start enjoying life again, like coming back from the trauma. And then from her, we go with Chantico. Chantico is the lady of the house. She's the one who invites us to really embrace the archetype of the guardian of the fire in the home. It's when you feel strong enough to take care of yourself, when you start taking care of family members again, and you can extend that care to people in the communities. When you create a nice fire in your house, in your home, of course, like physical fire, but it's more like the warm energy that you can create in the place where you live, and that way the community can feel called to join you in that warm space that you create. So from that, we connect with the magic, like with Izpapalot. So, and from here and the next archetypes is when we are really taking care of, like taking the responsibility, but also taking back our power as women in a different way. Like Celestine was mentioning before, we usually stop with after a traumatic event, like kind of healing and stopping in with Xochiquetzal, like be beautiful again and start taking care of the family. But with Izpapalot is when we go deep into the feminine energy, the power of being a woman. So Izpapalot is related with the honoring the magic that is in the cosmos, connecting with the four directions, connecting with the elements, making alchemy your daily life. Like all the process are opportunities to change and transform, transmute yourself, of course, but your circumstances. So it's like you can see their clouds. So it's like an invitation to claim your space in earth and don't allow anything to move you. I'm also bringing again like the magic, like is the intuition. She's related with the intuition, the feminine intuition, trusting that that the God when he's talking to you, that is Izpapalot. And from her we go with Coatlicue. So she's also very powerful. You can see again the clause where she again is claiming her space in the earth. Nothing and nobody will move her. She is related with taking the responsibility of only doing what you love to do. You can see the necklace with the hands and the hearts, like doing with your hands what you love, only what you love. Like it's embracing a different existence in this earth. When we as women create the spaces where we can do only what we love, like the love is so powerful that we can start getting continued transformation. Her name is related with the snakes. Is the she of the serpent skirt. So you can see the skirt with there's a lot of snakes, and a lot of the symbols of the snakes are around her. So the snake represent transformation, transmutations, change, create and destroy. So a beautiful way to connect with her is create something and then destroy it, and create and destroy, and create and destroy. Embracing that, because also it's part of what is a challenge for these worlds as women. Like the world loves us to be creative, like even with children. Have children, bring more children to the world, that way they can produce more, create things, make food, all that things. But the destruction that is also part of the feminine nature that's rejected. So it's like embracing that power of create and destroy is a challenge to the system. And how we can do that, like just like I would say, like daily life, embracing our cycles of body creates and destroys every moment. So it's like when we are taking that power in ourselves, in our hands, any circumstance that is happening in our life, we create it, and because of that we can destroy that and create something new. It's when we are recreating who we are. And from there we go to connect with Tosi and Tonantzin. So she's the grandmother and the mother. So it's when we are in a point in the cycle of healing, when we embrace the experience and we connect with the experience in a totally different way, like from coming from the previous one, when taking the responsibility of creation and destruction, is when now how you can make this experience what you can create with it, how you can become your own mother and your own grandmother, in the way like what are the advices that you are giving to yourselves, what's the experience that you are giving, how your own grandmother that is in you can count the story now, like from a very powerful point of view. All this happened to me and I learned this, and I am the result of that, like all my personal process of healing, and now bringing that in a powerful way. So she's like, with her, we are closing the cycle of the 10 deities, and we can go to the next one, and you can see the next one is the cycle. Again, you can see in the left corner, the top of the left corner, Oshomokan Sipaktonal, where everything's perfect. Then Koyol Shauki, where the trauma happened, where the sexual abuse happened. Then Mayawel, healing yourself, only taking care of your physical needs. Then with Chalchitluque, start working with emotions. With Tlazolteotl, connecting with self-love and releasing and taking, starting taking responsibility. With Xochiquetzal, bringing the beauty, enjoying life again. With Chantico, became the lady of your house, the lady of your home, creating community, holding space for more women. With his Papalot, bringing the magic, the transformation, bringing the power back. Similar with Coatlicue, how you can put all your love in what you are creating, and also remembering that you can destroy, create, and destroy whatever you want. And with Tosi, became your own grandmother, was the learning experience of the whole process of this sexual violence that you experience, and empowering yourself with the situation.
So one thing I want to share about the medicinal wheel is what we do in the 2-day retreat is take the format of the medicinal wheel and make it experiential. And so we go through each of the 10 stages throughout the 2 days, utilizing aspects. We use crystals, we use oils, we use different stretching, tapping, like different things that help our bodies, our minds. We do a journal writing, and we burn that in a fire, right? We take a lot of modalities that give practices to the women who attend, so they can take those practices into their lives and modify them and use them in different ways. Because we know not every woman has a temazcal in their backyard, but we know that they, could take an oil that would connect to whatever phase of the medicinal wheel they're in and use that as a place to ground them and to heal them. So we bring in different modalities so that the women also can have access to seeing other elements that can help them in their healing, as well as, sometimes it's not always safe to use these unconventional steps of healing, because it's still very taboo at times that women take their own healing into their hearts and hands and really can develop a place of wisdom and no longer be the trauma victim, no longer be, the labeled sexual violence, person, because they transform. And so over the 2-day process, what we use is the butterfly as one of our other bigger foundational pieces to really show those transitions from larva all the way to beautiful butterfly that comes out of the cocoon. So we use those implemented elements and practices within the 2-day retreat, as well as the power of learning this medicinal process, and that it can be used in all domains of our life. So that's one of the things that's also really powerful for those of us that know from the transformational work how to really use information in all areas of our lives that we're working and have goals on and are growing on, that we can also bring that into a place of learning within our community.
Yeah, and we have been doing this retreat several times, and the transformation is amazing. So I want to share with you one testimonial. A couple women say this. One say, "Thank you again for everything. I've been told by a few close friends that I look softer and that I'm much more playful. I couldn't have done it without your guidance. You have truly made an impact on my life, and I'm forever grateful, with joy and love." The other that I also like is I went deep without losing myself, be empowered. And I really want to focus in this testimonial because the woman who participated, who shared this, she was very afraid to touch emotions, deep, strong, difficult emotions. So part of what I also want to share is like, it's not easy to take the decision to these kind of retreats, but once you do it, it's a big, it's the first step. And so she was very afraid. She didn't want to lose herself in the process. So she was sharing that she went deep enough to heal, and the fear was just gone. So it was just also an amazing experience for her. And we have several testimonials.
¿Quieres uno más?
No, I think that's now.
All right. And then we go to our information.
Yeah, so that's it's a very, very powerful retreat. What I can see with my experience sharing with these women, I think more than 20 women were already been doing this this retreat in the last couple of years. So the invitation is for you. I hope you are interested in know more about this proposal, what we're doing, and I'm sure that is something key. Heal or feminine energy, in that way we can continue doing powerful work in the communities.
So Veronica and I both have our information up on the screen. Veronica has a website where you can learn more about her and the work that she's been doing. And there's also her email and phone number. For me, I have my website up. It's barely starting, so there's not much information on there. But you can always contact me with my phone number or email. The goal is to be able to connect with you and see, do you feel like this is something that would benefit your community, the area you work in, groups of women that you know? We really would like to do this in partnership with other women that are from the community. I know every time I go back to Southern California, I reconnect with my family and friends from when I was out there. But I know also, you know, I spend most of my time in New Mexico. So we're doing the retreats here, but definitely want to share the love with everyone that we are in connection with. And for me, I want to share it with all of you ladies out in California, because I know you're doing amazing work, and I know that this can elevate what our communities are up to, and the women, you know, what's going on in their lives. Usually it's in secret, even if they're powerful and amazing and have degrees or not. I think oftentimes when we talk about sexual violence too, you know, there's like this idea that only women who are, you know, in positions where they could be taken advantage of have this experience. And for me, you know, I have 2 degrees and I've seen this all the way around. So it's not something that I see is singular to a particular type of woman. I know that healing from trauma is also beneficial for us as women to know, so that as mentors and as tutors and facilitators of trainings, we also have skill set and tools in our toolbox that are unique. And I would say that this is one of those tools that is very unique. It's something that Veronica has spent a lot of her time as a healer practicing, and years of research to bring this all together. And I'm very grateful that you share this with the world and with me and this community. So please get in contact with us. I know many of you weren't able to make it to the webinar, but I'm going to send it out via link, and then just let us know. Okay? So we'll talk to you soon, and thank you all very, very much.
Can we
Go
I
back?
want to stop sharing. That way they can see us.
Okay, real quick.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, just want to say bye. Thank you very much for being here and taking the time. And yeah, please, if you have questions, let us know. You have our information. Thank you, Celestina.
Yes.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you. Bye, y'all.